I got up, I started running. He started shooting like 10 times. He shot at least 10 times. And then I ran to the back of the classroom. I dived behind the desk, and my teacher had got in front of me like he was guarding. But like the gunshots were so close to me, like my ears started ringing real bad. Like the whole classroom was smoking, like, and everything. And then when he finally got out of the classroom, my teacher started barricading the door with desks and bookshelves and all that. And then I had got up. I had saw one of my classmates on the ground bleeding so bad. And then when I had moved myself to the other side of the room, because the bookshelf I was hiding behind, it was right in front of the door. So I had moved to the other side, to like this side with my friend. I was checking on my other friend because he got grazed in his leg. And then there was a white girl that was in front of me. She got shot in her leg and stuff. And then my other friend got shot in her stomach. And it was just so sad, stuff like that.
Are you okay?
Yes, ma'am.
That's a lot to process.
Yeah.
And you're so young. You're how old?
14.
That's so much to have to process in class where you're supposed to feel safe.
Yeah.
How are you doing now? I mean, what's going through your mind?
Like, it just keep replaying back in my head. I just thank God that I wasn't the one that got hit, you know. Like, in the midst of all of it happening, I was just thanking God because, you know, he had his hands around me and stuff like that. Because I could have been the one that got hit because I was right there. He could have easily got me, but God had his hands around me.
Well, Kara, we're hearing more harrowing details about what happened inside that school early this morning, as you were just detailing there. We have with us Alexandria Romero. She's a sophomore, and you said you actually heard the gunshots. You were in second period at the time. Tell me what happened.
I was in the hall next to it. So I heard it, but it was very like vaguely, you know. So the teachers came in and they were like, everybody get on the floor, cover yourselves. Like we were all like hugging each other. So we were all like, it was a small little ball of us like all holding each other. And I remember like my friends crying. They were all scared. And then 2 police officers came in with their guns. Telling us not to move, that it's still not safe. And we were in that classroom for like 10 minutes before they even let us like go out. When the time was finally up, we went to the hallway that it happened in, and that's when I saw like my math teacher, and he was all covered. I saw blood everywhere. It was sad.
And you've shared videos with us showing the hallway where you guys were walking as you were evacuating. Describe, our viewers can't see the video right now, but describe to us what you just showed us in those videos.
It was basically my math teacher, just a white cover was on top of him. But in the video, like y'all about to see, it's like a blood there, but it was really quick. Like everybody was in a rush trying to get out.
And of course, in that video, you can see police officers standing around someone on the floor. At this point, we don't know whether anyone passed away in this incident. We do know there were injuries. People are being treated for injuries. You talked about your friends who were crying during this period. What about you? How were you feeling? Was there confusion? Was there anxiety? Was there fear?
I was scared. I had so much fear. Like I'm still shaking. Like I was so scared. I didn't know. My like feelings were so heightened. I cried too. I was scared.
We've talked to other students who said at the beginning, you know, they thought it might have been either a drill or just some commotion that was going on. Talk to me about how you...
Our school usually does drills and they take it pretty serious. So, of course, my class thought that it wasn't really a big of a deal until we saw this red flash go off in our classroom and the announcements went off saying that this is not a drill and this is real. And yeah, people thought it was a joke at first. But because we take our drills pretty serious, but our teacher was telling us we weren't gonna have one today, so it was really like out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm. And of course, the scene is still active. We have law enforcement here still processing the scene at this point. We don't know a lot of details about the victims at this point, but just, you know, can you see yourself going back in that building?
I'm definitely scared to go back. I talked with my parents and stuff. I don't feel safe going back there for a while. I definitely will feel like scared going back to that school, just knowing like what I saw coming out of that school too. It's like it's hard to get out of my head, like seeing that body right there, and especially like our math teacher. It was hard.
I know you keep saying your math teacher. At this point, we don't know any identities of any of the casualties at this point. How do you know it was a math teacher?
Because my friend was in that class when he had math period, and she was telling me that when he opened the door to see what was going on, because he was trying to make sure if it was a drill or not, he opened the door, and right when he opened the door and peeked out, they shot him.
So you're saying this was happening in the hallway, your friend was in a classroom, the teacher in that classroom tried to go outside to see what was going on, and that teacher was shot?
She said like as soon as he opened the door, he got shot.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I am sorry for the traumatic experience you guys have had to deal with this morning, and of course having to heal from for weeks and weeks, maybe years from now, and I'm glad you guys are okay. Thank you so much for speaking with us.
Of course.
Broke out just after 10 o'clock, where you had local, state, and federal agencies swarming that campus really within a matter of minutes. And earlier in the afternoon, Christine, I referenced a Facebook post from back in 2022 from school resource officers up in Barrow County at this very high school going through a drill to prepare for an eventuality exactly like this, to respond to a shooting, God forbid, when and if it happened, and today it did.
And how many times do we cover stories like that? It seems mundane, right, to say that these departments are doing these drills, and now we see today how necessary those drills and practice sessions are. Let's go out live to our Eric Perry, who is also on the ground, who is speaking to someone here to hopefully give us some more information on what happened today. Eric?
Yeah, Christine, Tom, we've been following the parents as they've come down. We've also seen more flooding coming in from different law enforcement agencies. Of course, my perspective is outside, but I'm here with Camille. Camille, you were inside the school. Walk us through, first of all, thank you for here.
Well, I was sitting in my classroom, and he came up to my door, or the door to our classroom. Classmate got up. She went to open the door, but she didn't. Because she saw that he had a gun, she announced it. As soon as she announced it, he started firing. We all went into the corner. Yeah, we just kind of heard a lot of gunshots. Then we heard a lot of, and then maybe 3 minutes later, we heard police running in. And then as soon as we went out, it was flooded with police officers and a lot of deputies.
So I want to be clear. You saw the gunman come to your classroom door?
Yes, sir. He was my classmate.
What is going through your mind? This isn't every ordinary day. You're seeing the gun. Just walk us through that, because to a lot of people watching, you're young.
Yeah.
You should not have to deal with that. Walk us through this if you can.
I mean, I just kind of got up, was getting ready. I mean, I never, a lot of people say that it's something that you never really think is going to happen. It's not something that goes through your mind in the morning, and it's really not something that goes through your mind in the morning. As soon as I got to school, I was excited. I really wanted to be at school that day. And, it was just complete, bust, because I was hoping for a good day, and it just turned into a terrible one for families and everyone.
How many gunshots do you remember hearing, if you can even remember how many?
At our door, I'm going to say 4. I remember hearing 4. And then he went to the other classroom next to ours, and I'm pretty sure I heard 6, 8 gunshots. And then I'm pretty sure he moved on to another hall because I heard more gunshots.
Have you processed this? I don't know if you have. This has just happened. How are you even processing this?
I don't know. I'm kind of in shock. I was in a lot of shock because I never really thought it would just happen to my school. I know it happens to others, but it just kind of was I didn't really think it was going to happen to my school. It's definitely something hard to process, especially if you know some of those kids. And I mean, it's only the second month of school, so it's really very shocking.
That you can through, from a parent's perspective, getting all of this, what is even going through your mind as you're processing this?
My wife's a teacher. She was teaching at the elementary school next door, and I got a text that we had an active shooter situation, and of course your first thought is my life, and then you're thinking about the other students and other parents, and are they safe? So at that point in time, I just was praying that God would protect my child, the other children. It's just a sad day, but it's a parent's worst nightmare. And again, you hear the cliches about you never thought it would happen in your area, and that's true. But it is a sad day, and we want to make sure that we're praying and supporting those families that have had tragedy into their homes today.
I know you guys have been out here all throughout the morning. You've had a very rough morning. As we leave, describe this school and describe this community. I mean, this does not even come front of mind to a lot of people that are happening here. Describe this community for us.
I have a lot of really nice. I love all of my teachers. They're definitely someone I could go to if I needed to talk. My coaches are like that too. I mean, it's small. It's not, everyone kind of sometimes gets along with everybody. Everyone has fights, sometimes. But I feel like the school is a good place to go, and I feel like just that happening kind of separates everybody, and everybody wants to be isolated and not really talk about it. So I feel like this is going to be kind of a hard thing to get through for the whole school.
Absolutely. Camille, thank you so much. You've had a very long morning, and we're praying for you, and we're praying for you as well, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. So you guys, that was a live interview that you were listening to with Camille. She says that the gunman came to her door. They did not let that gunman in. She describes hearing 4 to 5 shots. Outside of that, the magnitude of what you just listened to. She is 15, 16 years old, inside, knew that person, said he was the classmate, saw the gun, heard the gunshots, did not let them inside of that particular classroom. Imagine these people first thing in the morning, they are huddled up. I'm just getting chills just re-describing what you heard just there. And then they heard to go to a classroom next door where they heard even more gunshots, and then coming to find out all of this tragedy that happened here. So there's still a lot of activity and a lot of emotions. Again, this is someone who is young. This is our next generation, and this is something that they are dealing with. Christine, Tom, tossing it back to you guys right now.
Wow.